Hello, welcome to my Darktide combat shotgun build. Today I'm gonna show off this build and how I think it's one of the funnest builds and pretty strong, honestly. I don't see many people use the combat shotgun, so hopefully this will add a few more fans to it. So first, let me go over the melee weapon. We got the dueling sword. You know how it goes: 6% mobility, flat carapace, uncanny strike, and thrust. Instead of thrust, you can go repost. That has a lot of synergy with this build, as this is a high crit build, and repost will give you an extra 20% crit chance. You'll see why we want crits later. But honestly, melee weapon, do whatever you think is best. We're not really here for the melee weapon. We're here for the shotgun. So we have the Mark 7 combat shotgun. We dump stability. You don't need it. One interesting thing about the combat shotguns is its mobility actually gives it 4 dodges, which is the exact same as the dueling sword. Most weapons only get 3, so one unique advantage with the shotguns. We go carapace and unyielding, and then we go for the blessings. We go full bore and no respite. I've tried Death Spitter on it, but I feel like no respite's more consistent. It doesn't have an uptime, and it's pretty impactful for certain enemies that we'll get into later. Then we go for a Curious 3 stamina, 16 toughness. Obviously, you want 17 as it's the max, but I don't have one. And then we go stamina regen, toughness, combat regen. And I know assist speed is currently big right now after some of the reworks, but you'll see why we do stamina regeneration instead. All right, let's go to the talents. So for the talents, we go in quite a strange path. So we go the complete diamond route. So that's so we can get tactical reload and volley adept. So since this is the shotgun, it obviously kind of reloads slow since it's per shell. But with these two, it really makes the difference. Especially tactical reload synergizes really well as the reload speeds increase if your weapon contains ammo. And that means the only time this isn't activating is when you're at 0 shells. Since you load them one at a time, you load the first one slow, not even that slow, and the rest you load faster. And then, of course, volley adept, especially kills more reload speed. That's going to be up all the time. Moving on, we go shredder grenades. The reason I do shredders, you can do crack. Cracks are great. Everyone loves cracks now. But I go shredders so you can get the increased reload speed. If you go crack, you'll unfortunately have to pay a point tax if you still want to get that. You could just lose it and go a toughness boost. Toughness boosts are great, but that's why I tend to go this direction. But if you want to spend the extra point, you can go cracks, and that's pretty good. Spiritor Complex, Iron Will, Trench Fighter, great. Fielding Provision, Opening Salvo. So I do this for the veteran's base crit rate is 5%. With this, it becomes 15, and then with a perk we take later, it goes all the way up to 40%, which is pretty huge. Now, Opening Salvo applies to the first 20% of ammo, which is the first 3 shells, which that might not sound great, but since they're hand-loaded shells, you have a lot of agency over how many shells you have at all time. You don't have to hard commit to reloading. You can do it on your own time. Reload maybe 4 shells, 5 shells, whatever, 1 shell. Doesn't even matter. You can keep that up quite often, actually. Catch your breath. Yeah. So I do fire team. There is one reason I do fire team. Survivalist is obviously the team player pick. This gun doesn't get much ammo back from Survivalist. I do fire team because you can one-shot headshot non-crit armored ragers with fire team with 15 stacks of focus, where if you don't have this, it's just barely off, and it's annoying. So I do fire team. You could do either one of these two, though, and it'd be fine. So we get the whole grenade trifecta. Grenades are so strong on veteran. We just want more grenades. Executioner stance, and the bigger they are, so 8% uptime, or 8%, 8 seconds uptime. That's great. You can have Executioner stance on forever, honestly, in an Auric. Like, honestly. You just never leave it, pretty much, except when you're in, like, an elevator. Executioner stance has some interesting interactions with certain enemies when it's activated that I'll show off later. So then we go down here. This is why we take stamina regeneration, and this is how we get the 40% crit chance from Deadshot. Deadshot is a controversial pick for some people, but I think it's pretty great with the shotguns. You lose stamina per second, and you also lose more stamina when you shoot. But the shotgun doesn't really, it's not a rapid fire weapon, obviously. You're not shooting it like crazy like an assault rifle, so that's not too bad. And the stamina regeneration will help us manage our stamina even easier. Then we go precision strikes, fully loaded, toughness, lock and load. This helps. The 25 increase in clip size helps for this to get those 3 rounds of increased crits. Then we go marksman's focus. This also helps give even more reload speed and more headshot damage. And then tunnel vision for just more tunnel replenishment. And more importantly, weak spot kills restore 10% stamina. This will help mitigate deadshot more. And long range assassin just for more stacks. Then we go over here and just get demolition teams for more grenades. And yeah, so those are all the talents. And then, like I said, we use the Mark 7 shotgun. And now let me show you what it can do. So I'm just going to get a few stacks here. You can get stacks of focus on any enemy. It can even be common, you know, non-elite. So it's really easy to get a bunch. So let's see. One shot. I believe. So Maulers will take anywhere between 1 to 3. I know you're thinking 1 to 3. What the fuck? You can one-shot a Mauler? Yes, you can one-shot a Mauler with Executioner Stance active, and you get a crit. Like I said, you have a 40% chance to crit. So, granted, it's not a high chance, but it's also not a low chance, you know. You'll get it from time to time. You need exactly 13 stacks of, 13 stacks, I believe, of focus. We'll test it out here. Yep, 13 stacks. If you're at 12, it will not one-shot crit. You need full bore active, but full bore is always going to be active because it's full bore, and this is a precision shotgun. You shouldn't be not hitting all your pellets. Let's see, one shot. Ooh, I missed a lot of those shots, I'm not going to even lie. But this thing has great range, as you can see. And especially if you don't miss your shots like I am right now. But this shotgun really shines on being a headhunter shotgun, which seems counterintuitive. But, oh, not quite. I know it can one-shot, damn. Normally, I'm missing these shots. I was going to say, normally, as long as you're dead on, it can one-shot even without the special ammo. Now, getting into the special ammo, it can do this. That's awesome. You don't even need the Executioner Stance up to do that. I'm going to wait for it to wear off. So you load the special ammo up, shoot them, and you miss the headshot like that, and then you get it. I swear one-shot headshots, though. There we go. Non-crit, too. Same on Reaper. Same on every enemy, pretty much, except Crushers and Maulers. Like I said, only one-shots Maulers with Executioner Stance up and the right amount of focus. But this special ammo is great. It has insane range for a shotgun. Like, let's see. Boom. It was a crit, but still. Let's see it again. That was not a crit. One shot. Alright, so about this range where it's not one-shotting, right? And then even without it, 2 shots, I mean, they were both crits. But granted, like, look how far away this is. Like, that's crazy for a shotgun. So yeah, this thing has great range, and even if you miss your headshot, like, there's a good chance you'll crit, and you'll just explode into a million pieces. And you always do a couple follow-up shots, too. So, on average, everything dies in 1 to 2 shots, maybe 3 if you're a Mauler sometimes. The reason I take Fire Team, or I think it's called Fire Team, right? What's that talent called? Yeah, Fire Team, is, hang on, need just a couple stacks of focus. Alright, I want to get a non-crit on the Rager. So you can actually one-shot Ragers without flak, headshot, and without a crit. So you can't do that without Fire Team. I've tested it like a million times. It just doesn't happen. Granted, if you just use a load of special ammo, shoot him once he's dead. Now, Crushers, this is what I really want to talk about, and the real reason I want to make this video. Let's see how it can handle a Crusher, right? 3 shots. It'll take 3 shots exactly to kill a Crusher with Executioner Stance activated, with the special ammo loaded, which isn't bad. You could see he didn't even have a chance to get up all the way. Now, it's very important that Executioner Stance is activated, because watch what will happen if it's not. he doesn't fall over all the way. And it'll actually take 4. And that's consistent. Like, if you don't have Executioner Stance on, he won't get that initial fall over. Like so. So, I think that's awesome, that this shotgun can actually deal this much damage to a Crusher, if you hit your headshots, of course, like that. And the best part is, it's guaranteed to stagger them. Even without Executioner Stance, you can see he staggers back. You can easily save your teammate with this. And you load the special shell very fast. There's no excuse why you shouldn't be using it quite often. It's really a great fucking, like, ability. It's, like, one of my favorite. It's so satisfying to use. Like, it just wrecks. And it synergizes really well with Deadshot. As you can see, I don't have to aim it. I don't have to aim down sight, so I'm not spending that stamina. I can just load it up and let it go, hip firing it. But yeah. So, the reason I take this shotgun is because it is the precision shotgun. It literally says it in its mark. Where is it? Oh, I'm stupid. Precise, yeah. These other ones, these might seem appealing because they're high damage numbers, but I assure you, it's the trade-off's not worth it. The trade-off is only worth it if you really just don't want to aim for the head. But even then, look at that. That sucked. And you get less ammo. That's crazy looking. But, like, you get less ammo with it. And you're not even always, like, look at that. That sucks. Like, you have to two-shot them. This thing does so much damage, but it can't even one-shot to the body. Like, in Darktide, you just need to aim for the head. Like, there's no working around it. You need to aim for the head. And these special ammo types, too. I mean, look at that. What the fuck is that supposed to do? That sucks. Unless you just keep, like, I don't know, doing this, I guess. And just stacking it, but I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea. The extra damage, my point is not worth it. This, in my opinion, is the only good combat shotgun. The only one worth using in general. It is so fun to use, and I highly recommend that you try it out today. It's so fucking fun. I'm probably going to post some clips here. Well, maybe one clip of me using it, but it's so fun. And it shoots fast as fuck, too. Like, once it gets going, like, it's not slow at firing. Like, it shoots pretty fast, and you reload. I mean, look at that. Boom. We're back in business. Like, I don't know. But yeah, that's the video. Please try out the combat shotgun today. It is very fun. Anyways, bye-bye.
You in my presence! The Beneficent Emperor guides your hand!